Yo, what up? It's Chase. I'm back like I never left. Yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've been trading and doing the whole Twitter thing for so many years. It's just felt good for the past, 2 months or whatever to take my own trades and not worrying about updating and answering people's questions and, having every single decision I make be, sort of put under the microscope and having to explain myself. Yeah, I guess that's it. So it's felt good just trading, right, without all the extra bullshit that's attached to it. Appreciate you guys though. I've read the DMs, I read the messages. Part of the reason why I'm back, making a video here. So while I didn't reply to a lot of them, I do appreciate all the kind words. People asking me to come back. Where the video's at, and yeah, here we go. All right, so looking at Bitcoin first. Obviously strong uptrend, right? I'm going to just show you the levels of interest I have. If you look at Twitter today, just to briefly go over something, if you look, I had posted on Twitter that I expected this liquidity to be taken out. You sort of had a bit of a structural break here, right? And you sort of had a little inverse head and shoulders. So this went up. I had closed my swing short, somewhere around 52, like break even-ish. And then I took the long, and the long played out, but then obviously we dumped. So in hindsight, probably could have kept the swing short open, but I'll be honest with you, there hasn't been a lot of times recently where I feel like we take, liquidity like this in a bearish scenario and immediately dump, or high time frame bullish context, right? But typically what happens when we have this high time frame bullish context is, we'll be above here for a bit. So I thought I'd be able to, reopen shorts higher. And I think it's still a possibility. I'll tell you why. But yeah, I guess that's it. So I got the long, ended up break even on the short, then I took the long. The long was profitable. And, is what it is. Any day that you make money is a good day. Made money today. So that's all that matters. And we'll worry about what comes next. I'll worry about what comes next when it comes. Alright, but just breaking this down, right? So far, support is still holding on this daily fair value gap here. Hope everyone has their water with them. Support's still holding, right? And that's how I really, break legs like these down, right? If we're looking at a leg like this and we're thinking, okay, where is consolidation? Where could potential support should be? What is the local level to watch? And in my opinion right now, the local level to watch would be this daily fair value gap. And if we're to break down through there, I would say that I could see a significant correction coming. I'll show you my level of confluence in many different ways and where I think we'd be going to. So you have your monthly closes here, right? Support, resistance, breakdown. Okay, comes up, rejects, powers through it. This is right around 46.2. Okay, keep that in mind. We're just going to go through the time frames. I'm going to show you guys sort of how I break this down. Okay, if we were looking at the weekly now, we would have a weekly fair value gap here, and we'd have the weekly liquidity below this weekly candle here. Okay, so that puts us at below 47.7, and we have our monthly level from 46.2. Okay, going down to the daily. If we look at the daily, I think that you see a lot of these lows built up, lows built up, lows built up, lows, okay? So I moved this level down to here, and this would be my daily level that I'd be watching, would be below 46.8. That's sort of the daily liquidity in here. You could see a daily fair value gap in here as well. And if we extended this out, what do we have over here? We have the origin of impulse down. We have the consolidation before the down move that we eventually push through. I believe this would turn into a support here, right? We could go down to a 12-hour. We could draw it out. We could take a 12-hour order block here, right? 12-hour block sends us down. We push through it. Okay, so the point of this is I'm showing you that this level, right, and this is one of the problems that people have with trading is that, they try to find the very perfect level, when the reality is you'll often find good confluence between multiple time frames that all lead you around the same place. So if you're around the same place, simply set your orders and have confidence in it. My level or my area that I'm interested in is the low 46s. I think right around here, and and I could go deeper, right? I could tell you, oh well, the 12-hour liquidity below this low, right? We could keep digging, but you could dig forever, and just make sure, yeah. And you could dig forever, but at that point, you're doing analysis paralysis rather than setting orders. Okay. So yeah, there's my level of interest around 46.2k. Okay. If we went over to and we'll come back, but I'll just show you real quick. If we went over to Ethereum, you can basically see the same thing. Let's go to the daily. Oops. Oh, I'll show you one more real quick. Okay, fib, right? We can take the fib, the bottom of the leg to the top of the leg. If this is going to be the top of the leg, right? Like I said, there's still a possibility that this daily fair value gap holds. We come up, we go a little higher, and I look for shorts from higher. Okay, that was one of the reasons why I closed the swing short. I thought this push here wasn't just going to take liquidity and just immediately dumped. I figured it would at least hover around here, do something, right? And I'd find another entry. But nonetheless, that's how it goes sometimes. So look at the perfect confluence between the 618 on the fib, right? 618 on the fib here, and the level that we had marked out right around 46.2. Okay, so that's 100 different ways to find the level. Okay, going over to Ethereum, we can do the same thing. Let's go to the monthly, and we'll just start breaking it down. All your monthly closes here. Monthly resistance powers through. Okay. This would be a 26.85 so far. You have your big fair value gap here. This is pretty much the end of the gap right here, right? So once we push through here, that's of interest. Going down to the daily. Okay. So now we can see, and let's start looking at this leg itself, right? Fair value gap in here. But if Bitcoin was to break down in a major way, I would have to see this low taken out, maybe even these lows taken out. So now we're starting to get away from this first level a little bit, but sometimes that is how it goes when you're breaking down from like a monthly to a daily. Let's see, let's move this down, let's see what it looks like. So you have these closes here, right? Resistance, powers through, support. This would be basically like your breakdown level here, right? Moves down, powers through. Liquidity below here, 25.85. So we moved from 26s to like 25, mid 25s. Then we can fib this leg too. Let's see where we're at. And that put you below the equilibrium right around the 618. High 25s for ETH. Yeah, so I think high 25s here. Let's just mark this out and see. Okay, so off of this level, ETH is a little, I would say a little less clean here. Trying to figure out these levels here. Comes up, tries to hold it, breaks down, powers through. I'm really mostly interested in where price powers through, but it's not that clean of a, yeah. ETH is tough to say. I'm thinking, this is sort of clean, but then that would mean that this liquidity is going to be untested, which could be possible. We could just do a sweep of this low into here essentially, and that would be resistance, comes up, finds support, sweeps the low 26s. Let's check with our let's check here. So that would be about a 10% pullback. and that would be about a 10% pullback. Okay, there we go. So that's another technique, right, is to measure on both of the assets, because mostly they move somewhat similar. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'd be more interested in the BTC long than I would be the ETH long. I'm seeing some conflict on ETH as to where I'd be interested. Again, yeah, I think I explained it, but yeah, this one is not as clean. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, moving into ES. ES swept the low. We have minutes tomorrow, FOMC minutes. My ultimate target, if the minutes were bullish at all, would be this these 29.50 highs, right? Equal highs here. How do we get to them is the question. Well, we don't have any structural break yet. Optimally, what I'd like to see is whatever we do in here tomorrow before the minutes, and then boom, like that, some news on the minutes or something. I would probably long a sweep of this low. Yeah, probably. And that's mostly the ideas I have for now. I mean, obviously it's high time frame stuff, right? But you know, the short-term stuff changes quick, so let's delete that. That's our level 46s. Yeah, I mean, this could hold. It's been mostly clean. It's another test there. You know, I think once we lose this, if we did lose this level in a major way, you're looking at least these lows, right? So the problem is, though, Bitcoin shorts are very difficult to get aboard. You either sort of get the Pico entry or you get fucked most of the time. Like if you wait for this to break down, you're either not going to get a retest, or it's going to like come back up and then it's going to go, something like that. So you got to be you got to be careful with the Bitcoin shorts. They're tough to nail. Okay, well, I think that's good for my first one back. You know, sort of just surveying the area. Hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you soon. Peace out.